All right, cousin Tone. Here we are, episode 101, the official start to season 3. Now, we just recorded on Thursday, bro, but it feels like, man, I don't know, like an eternity since then, honestly. There's been a lot that's going on. So much is happening, and I can't wait to tell everybody what went down. But before we get to that, bro, I want to ask you, how does it feel to finally have episode 100 under your belt?
Oh my god, I'm just like I finally got to like exhale because dude, there was a lot going on, man. Like I had the whole queue full of people. The chat was going. The whole time I'm like, man, hopefully the internet stays. Like I'm good. Like I just because I was like worried about my connection going down and the whole thing just going, completely sideways. Um, that was awesome, man. First of all, thank you to everyone who joined us, man. It was cool. People were patient, waiting their turns. Like I was a little nervous. I'm like, I didn't really, they're doing us a favor by jumping on. I don't want to be having them sitting there forever. But the guests we had on before them or whatever it was, the conversation was good too. So I'm like, I don't want to rush anybody off. So it was like a tough, you know, thing. It was almost like I needed that guy at the Apollo to chase him off. The was it Sandman?
Yeah, that's it,
But nah, dude, but it was awesome, man. And we I think we set the record for the best dressed podcast ever.
Ooh, yo, that was nice. That was last minute. I decided to just we were talking about it. You said I'm gonna put my tuxedo shirt on, so I was like, well, if you're gonna wear that, I gotta wear something nice. So I went into my closet like 10 minutes beforehand. Just got home from work. I was like, I have nothing but my one blue suit. Screw it. So that's like my one suit that I wear to everything. So I just threw it on and as soon as everybody started coming on, John was the first one. He's like, "Oh, I got to get my blazer. Hold on." And then Rob and everybody,
Yeah.
ensued with looking cool. So that was dope. I like that.
Yeah, for sure. So if you haven't seen the video part of it, check out our YouTube channel. Like I said, you'll see the best dressed podcast ever.
Yeah.
It deteriorated as the night went on, but still. Uh,
No, but that episode definitely that's one for YouTube. That's a YouTube episode. You got to check that one out.
yeah, for sure, man. So, now that 100's in the rear view, man, now we go season 3, man. Episode 101. So, man, like you said, it was a busy weekend. First I want to apologize to the commish and everybody else because he was busting my chops about I didn't, put up any kind of like post or anything to recap episode 100. It was just first of all, you were somewhere else, and we'll get into that. But I was just super busy this weekend. Just didn't get around to it. But like I said, it's all on YouTube, so check it out over there. It's a way to get our numbers up. You know what I mean?
There you go. There
So,
you go.
yeah, man. So listen, let's talk about it, man. Yet another trip to Florida
Hmm.
for the people's mailman, but this time, like I said, the Father of the Year title was on the line. It was a fight to the finish between you and the sports car dad who you ran into, and other dads that were there.
Oh yeah,
But
yeah, definitely.
you so dude, talk to me first about just real quick, just let's just say you get there, you get on the plane, all that stuff, but you finally get there. Just what's going through your mind as both a father, a collector, all that stuff. So talk to me a little bit.
Yeah. So first things first, it was early in the morning. We did everything where I booked a flight in the morning to get there by 8 o'clock. So we had to be at the Philly airport like at 4 to make sure everything was good to go. So 4 in the morning. So we had to wake up by 2 and getting my daughter up that early was not easy. So getting her ready, getting showered, then hopping in the car, driving an hour to the airport, making it to Orlando. And then, dude, honestly, I've never myself booked an Uber. You
Mhm.
know, I'm usually once I go to Florida, it's either I got my my rental already. So that was I downloaded the app, so I had to figure that out, and it was a very pleasant experience. Not as stressful as I thought it would be. So they were like 3 minutes away. Bang, put the thing in, put my card, and they were there. So that was a nice and easy transition. So I was actually stressing that. I was like, man, I don't know how to do this Uber thing, bro. I know Tony does it all the time, but I have no idea.
Look at you
Uh,
adulting.
yeah, it was pretty cool. So we make it, and then we're pretty early, so we figured let's get something to eat. The place didn't open till 10 o'clock, but that was for VIP only. So we get to this the DoubleTree right there by Universal in Orlando, And you get there, there's this huge blow up, those big blow ups that they have at the cars when they're trying to sell
Yeah,
cars. Yeah, it's like that.
yeah.
But it's a huge Frankenstein right outside the thing. You see people all dressed up, and I was like, screw it, we might as well wait because I don't know what's gonna happen. So it's like 8:30. And so we get in line knowing that we're not going to be able to get into like 11, but the line was already around the corner. So
Okay.
I was like, yeah, we might as well just get in here and wait. So sports car dad Dustin hits me up. He's like, hey, I'm at my hotel, which is directly across the street from the DoubleTree. He's like, we're finishing up getting ready. We're probably gonna go head over and get in line. If you guys want to meet up, I'm like, dude, I'm already here. Yes, I said, so I'll save you a spot in the line. He's like, oh, cool, cool. I better hurry up then. So then a couple minutes later, he shows up with his daughter. We're there chilling. We're in the line, and we're probably there for like half an hour. And all of a sudden, this lady comes over from the one of the volunteers, and it's Spooky Empire is what they're called, that was in charge of the
Mhm.
whole thing. So she comes over and she's like, all right, anybody that bought the exclusive package, follow me. Got to get out of this line and we got to go around the corner. So I'm assuming Dustin, got the package, but he's like, no, I only got the photo opportunity. I was like, are you serious? He's like, yeah. I said, bro, we're gonna get split up. He's like, yeah, I guess. So I had to leave him and go to the other side. I was like, damn. So we had this elaborate plan. Our whole thing was like, okay, we're gonna get there. We'll get in line together. I'll go first. I'll give you my phone. You can use your phone. So one
Yeah,
person can video, the other person can take a million pictures. We'll document the whole thing, the whole, picture, getting the picture, and also the autograph of Millie. And we had this whole plan in our minds. And little did we know that was not going to happen. So basically, we get split up. I figured out, that I had to get inside. They're like, all right, here's what's going to happen. You're going to go inside. You're going to show your credentials. They're going to give you everything that you need. Once you get everything you need, you got to come back and get into another line. So then everybody's like, what are you talking about? So then three of the volunteers come into where we're at. Uh, and the one lady is just pulling her hair out. She's like, dude, I don't know what's going on, but this thing went from 2 lines, there's now 5 lines out there. And the one lady's like, "What the hell do you mean there's 5 lines?" She's like, "I don't know, but everybody's like forming a line. I have no idea what's going on. I'm not getting paid too much for this. I'm a volunteer. I don't know how." And she's having a meltdown. You know what I mean? I'm just like, "Oh my god." So like that whole first, right before it was already 10 o'clock. So she had started any VIPs, she was doing autographs. So Millie started right at 10 o'clock. So then they were going to allow us to get in at 11 to start the photos. But from 10 to 11, bro, that was insane. People were like, it was crazy that not only the volunteers yelling, but, people that were waiting in line were going, it was hot. You know how Florida
yeah,
is. It got
yeah,
real hot and muggy real quick. So it was definitely an experience before anything even started.
yeah. That's sometimes so. Real quick before we continue into it, so Mike Tyson is appearing out near Monroeville, Pennsylvania, out near Pittsburgh, and I didn't. There was a couple tickets left. I've been monitoring this for a while, and I just finally the other day I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just pass it. It was just a photo op, and I'm like, I got it. And I'm just thinking of like, is it gonna be worth like all the hassle and stuff like that? Because it's just gonna be a real quick thing, and I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, what in your situation, I find it totally different. Like, if for the kid, I don't, I'll go wherever. Like,
Yeah.
but it's basically this for me. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I know he comes down to like Chantilly or something like that. Maybe I don't know. It just didn't. It wasn't jiving. So I'm like,
And
I'm
I
just
I
gonna.
I get that. I get that because if it was just me and I went through all that, what I went through, and I wasn't with my daughter, I would have been like, "Why did I spend all that money for that?"
Yeah,
Because and, especially with somebody like Mike Tyson, somebody that's very popular. The other people that are not, they're on the fringe or B-list celebrities that were all there, they take their time, they'll have
yeah,
conversations with you, they'll pose, they'll do all kinds of crazy stuff, and they'll let you videotape everything. But yeah, with Millie, she basically flipped that thing upside down, bro, because they were not ready for the amount of people. Because it's a horror convention, so they're just used to the regular people coming dressed up that are into horror, B list celebrities. Millie obviously is on the come up, and everybody and their mom showed up. Kids, dude, I seen babies to like freaking teenagers. They were all there. And you walk into this place and everybody's dressed up creepy. You got Michael Myers rolling around, you got Freddy Krueger, you got Chucky. Like anybody that you could see,
Yeah.
that they were dressed up and walking around. The cosplay was ridiculous.
Wow.
And then you have these moms walking around with their kids trying to get photos for and autographs of Millie. So they were not ready for that whole thing, bro. They were melting down.
That's crazy. Well, first of all, Eddie Munster's not a B-list celebrity, so you need to put some respect on his name.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So,
Dude, I felt bad because there was nobody at his table.
damn, man, that's messed up, man.
Yeah, he's a OG, you know what I mean? But it's like
Yeah.
the older we get, like, nobody
People
remembers that.
just yeah, nobody none of those girls, little girls, looking for 11
Yeah,
have no idea who
yeah,
Eddie
he's
Munster.
not the cute, little Eddie Munster anymore, you know what I mean? He's the old man, the creepy old man in the corner.
It's crazy. So, let's fast forward a little bit. So you do the auto thing, which by the way, man, that auto looks fire, man. The way it bounces off the card, just
Yeah.
the color. Oh, real quick. So did your daughter and sports card dad daughter get a little bonding action there real quick? I mean, I
A
know
little
she's
it was
your
quick,
Alexa's shy, but
Alexa's very shy,
yeah,
and his daughter was funny, and, she's little shorty, but she she
okay,
she portrayed her so it was almost like she was a little woman, you know what I mean?
okay,
So
yeah,
she's, great attitude, and you could tell she's mature for her age. And what was funny was her dad pointed it out. She's like, "Look, she got the eyelashes. She put the eyelashes on." So
okay.
and she's like, "Dad, why you put me on black?" He's like, "I'm just saying, you don't need those." He's like, "Well, these are the small ones." He's like, "If those are the small ones, I'd hate to see the big ones."
Yeah, yeah, that's don't get me started on that, man. So, talk to me about the auto though, man. I mean, I know you guys took the picture, but
Yeah.
I feel like that was a whole rush thing. As you said, security was crazy. They weren't
But
letting you guys.
but it was fun because,
Was it-
you have no idea. They have her behind the curtain, so the lines, were around the corner. You're waiting, 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 so you have no
Yeah,
idea what's going on. But when, my daughter first seen her and I seen her, I was like awestruck, like, man, this is Millie Bobby Brown. You know what I mean? 11 in the flesh, and she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's and so nice, bro. Just the nicest person you could ever meet.
that's cool.
We went in there and she said hello, and I was like, in her accent, and I was like, hello, Millie, and my daughter was just like, uh, and she's like, well, why don't you come over here? So my
Yeah.
daughter got on the one side, I got on the other side. We took the picture, and we walked out. My daughter was like, man, I should have said something. I said, you'll have another opportunity, when we do the auto. She's like, yeah, but what am I gonna say? And I told her like a million different things to say, and she was like, no, no. And I was like, listen, I didn't bring you here to talk about all the what ifs.
Right.
First of all, you just got to put your arm around Millie Bobby Brown. Can you wrap that around your little mind now? Like, you just got to meet your idol. Yeah, but no, 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 no. I don't want to hear no negatives.
Yeah.
You just got to meet her. You got, well, until I see the picture, it's not going to be real. I
Oh
don't.
my gosh, she's
Did that
wild.
even happen? Did that even happen? I don't know. It went so quick. I'm just like, you know what? Deep breaths here.
Yeah, yeah.
In my mind, I'm like, Daddy spent a lot of money for this. Um, no, but she honestly, I think in her mind, she was just she couldn't believe it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, even though she had her arm around Millie, in her mind, she couldn't fathom the fact that she had her
right,
arm around Millie taking a
right.
photo, which was funny.
That's crazy. And little Jovi was there too, right?
Mm, that was another thing. Her fiance, little Bon Jovi, was there. So like the whole time
What's
from
that kid's name? I don't even know his
I
name.
think it was Jake. I think it was
Oh,
Jake.
okay.
I mean,
Sorry,
I think.
Jake.
Don't quote me on that one.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's just
Um,
go with little Bon Jovi then.
we'll call him Jay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
So
That's cool.
basically, he was there the whole time, bro, supporting her, which I thought was pretty cool. So he's there. He wasn't behind her for the pictures, like, not in the picture, but over there in the corner watching her the whole time. And then for the autos as well. And at the end for the Q&A. So from, 10 o'clock till 6 o'clock, he was right by her side.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when you're born on third base, you got nothing else to do. So
Yeah, you know what I
might as well
mean?
do that, right? You know
But
what I mean?
kudos to Jay,
Yeah, little sucker.
JBJ.
So, so you guys, the auto though, man. Anything happened with that? Because I know you had you bought the marker and all that
Yeah,
stuff,
so
and
I went
I
out.
just want to get as many details as we can because I
Yeah,
don't
so
think it's
I
all like
was really worried about that. So I had gone to Michael's, the art store, and purchased, on commissions. He told me to go ahead and purchase the one Sharpie, the silver one, the permanent marker. So which I went in and got two of those just in case. So when we got into line, I ripped it out, make sure I took it out. He said, make sure you prime it up, make sure it's ready to go. So I'm writing on the thing. I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go. So I pop off because it was in that case that it was in. So I had to pop it off that looked like a slab,
Yeah.
had it ready to go. We get up there, and I said, "Hey, Millie, if you don't mind, if you could use this marker here, I'd appreciate it. And if you could just sign right at the bottom." She's like, "Oh, no problem. I have the same exact one. Look, it's the same one." And I was like,
No.
"Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, but you probably been using it for the last 2 hours. Could you?" And I was like, "Whatever, man.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say to Millie?" So I was like, "Oh, okay, no problem." So
Right.
she signed it. It came out great. You know what I mean? So I think the only thing that might have been, better if she would have used the newer one, the tip might have been a little finer.
Gotcha.
So that's the only thing. Like the auto was a little too fat to get the MBB to really see it clearly, but it's still dope as hell. I could show you real quick.
Yeah, flash that up on the screen for everybody on the YouTube. Let me put you up here on. Yeah, so now you're showing up on the screen there. Yeah, that's a really nice auto, man, because it's a darker background. So with the silver, definitely pops.
Yeah.
Very nice. So the next problem, or I should say thing to come up now though, is getting that thing authenticated.
Yeah.
You and I, we ran with the commission. We're talking about how do you. So
Yeah,
this is
so the first
something.
thing, so I'm looking, I asked the lady beforehand, the one lady that was pulling out her hair early on,
Yeah.
and she's there standing like security. So she was making sure. So, getting back to the whole security thing, bro, they did not allow any pictures or videotape of any kind, not even in the line. Once you pulled your phone out, they're telling you to put it away. So you couldn't even do anything, take pictures of her. So, like right away that we couldn't do anything with that. Now, once that happened, I was talking to the lady and I was like, "Hey, listen, do you have any idea if they have, authentication, certificate of authentication for this?" And she was like, "I don't know." Because she was already like burnt out.
Yeah, she's like, dude, there's now 9 lines outside,
Yeah,
and you're asking me about authentication? I'm
yeah,
authenticate your ass right up out of here.
yeah. And I'm looking at her like, all right, I'm not gonna bother you anymore. I get it. I get it. You're fried. So, but in my mind, I'm hoping and praying, but I'm looking and I don't see a booth anywhere. I don't see, people are coming out with their memorabilia and just walking out, and I'm like,
Yeah,
damn. I said, so finally, when we get in there, it's behind the curtain, and you see and you realize there's no authentication for it. I'm like, great. So now I have to provide some type of provenance for this, and I'm not sure if PSA will be willing to go ahead and authenticate it. I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know. I mean, you definitely have enough proof. What's funny is so that's like, dude, like there's people on there that are getting this thing signed, and there's probably people getting that thing signed with the intentions of selling it,
Yeah.
and they're gonna go put that up on eBay. I mean, and they might find other people that are just like them, but when that thing sits there for a while and there's nothing to prove that it is what it is, like what they
Mhm.
say it is, uh, it's like one of those things, man. If you don't really know, nobody's gonna tell you. So
Yeah. Well, similar to the Funko that I have behind me, that
yeah,
one doesn't have, a certificate of authenticity. So now that I've seen that this one didn't have it, so now I'm thinking even more that this is realistic, that this
right,
is a
right, of
real
course,
auto. So in my mind, this is real.
right, right,
You can't tell me nothing because I know for a fact I went and got a Millie auto and they didn't have, Beckett there or somebody or JSA to go ahead and authenticate it right there on the spot. So yeah, I got a
yeah,
dope ass Millie
like
auto
that.
right there too.
So what's the next move? You like
Next move
contacting
is I gotta
Beckett,
contact somebody
PSA,
that's in the
or
know.
something?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm,
I don't know if it's PSA, maybe call them up sometime tomorrow or Tuesday and find out exactly what I have to do to get that authenticated. You know, so I was talking probably doing it in person, you know, like I similar to what I did with the Allen Iverson auto when we went to the Philly show. PSA was there, talked to the guy, got everything done, and boom, they had it back to me in 4 days. So I might wait for the next show, whether it be that or we were talking about the national.
yeah. Okay. Last question with this, then we'll move on because I want to ask you about some card stuff. But Q&A. Did you guys get to ask a question, or
Well,
that work?
I mean, at first they're just like, "Hey, anybody that has a question, just get along on the opposite side right here." So they, a bunch of people lined up, and my daughter said she had a question, but she was too afraid to ask it. So
Uh-huh.
that we just, chilled. I wasn't gonna be the one going up there and
Yeah,
asking the
I
question,
got you.
but it was pretty cool. So they had about like 50 people lining up, and most of them females, girls, a couple of dudes. The one guy was real creepy, and
Nice.
yeah, like real creepy. And everybody's
Yeah,
like,
I can imagine. I was like, that's why they have all that security. Because 'cause I'm like, "Dude, you know that damn well there was some
yeah,
dudes
like
like
his
that."
first three sentences are, "Millie, I love you. You're beautiful. You're gorgeous. Millie, I can't tell you how much you look good today." And I'm where everybody's like, just get to
Right.
the question, bro.
Yeah,
Your her fiance's right there. You're not gonna get lucky. Like, keep it moving, bro.
yeah. Wow. So listen, man, I mean, I'm happy that you got to experience that with her, man. Like I said, yesterday that we got on that three-way call with the, commission. We were talking, so it
Yeah,
was dope, man, to you got it done, man. You got
yeah,
it
man.
done, and you probably were I mean, that ride back must have been torture, so, but
Yeah, yeah. But it was well worth it. Every penny, every lost wink of sleep, definitely worth it. Right before I came downstairs, I just got a random hug out of the blue from my daughter. So
nice.
that was like one of those like, thanks,
Yeah.
dad.
Yeah. She won't say it, but it was like, "Alright, that's cool, man." But that's dope. So, now that we were chasing autos and celebrities and all that stuff, I wanna ask you because I first of all, I'm done making like absolute saying I'm done like buying stuff because every time I say that or say I'm gonna take a break, like something guaranteed freaking pops up. So enough of that. When I say that again, everybody always stop. Don't say that. So rainbows, chasing rainbows, building. To you, gimmick or nah?
I know to you it's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not. I mean, I wouldn't say I chased the rainbow, but at one point in time, I remember I had the Iversons, the one prism card
Hmm.
that I had like the 5 different variations. It wasn't the whole rainbow because to get the whole rainbow would be crazy.
Yeah.
That was for 2021. But I had like 5 or 6 of them, the green shimmer and the pink this and the fast break that and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Um, but that's to the extent that's what I did. If I did anything, it'd probably be something similar to what you did. And you chased the rainbow, so something I never thought you would be doing. So
Yep.
talk to me about that. Another hidden deal from Tony. Keeping it from the eyes and the commish, going, backdoor deals that nobody knows about. Like I could have found you on Channel 69 News talking about Tony Ramos went missing, going on a backyard deal because he was too cool to tell anybody, and I would have found out that my partner was found dead in the alley for doing deals without letting his partner know. But go ahead, talk to me about it.
Yeah. I took my wife, so if anything was gonna happen, she would just recorded
Well,
me
that's
getting
even
my
worse.
ass beat. Yeah.
Your
She
wife
would just
couldn't.
recorded me getting like beat down.
I would have lost both of you guys in one fell swoop.
Yeah, I know. Before I get into that, do you think that rainbows is kind of the modern alternative to set collecting?
I think it has to be. There's only dude to try to collect a full set of cards, unless unless you're going with the base set, which I think can be done for these modern sets. But with all these parallels and everything that goes along with it, if you're a player collector, I think that's probably the closest you're gonna get to set collecting, as it was like back in the day. So I agree with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. That's kind of what I think of. So let me pull this up here so I can share it on the YouTube. I, sir, purchased a full rainbow from a friend of the show, Mr. Bambino Sports Cards.
El
Uh,
Bambino.
El Bambino. I forget what episode he was on, but he was on the show before. And he purchased a collection of a Terrell Owens super collector. And I say super collector, he said this guy had thousands
Really?
of
I,
Terrell
w- I
Owens.
was wondering how he got a hold of that. I'm like, how the hell did Bambino get all them?
Yeah, thousands. I mean, this guy, he said that the guy s- specifically said, when I go, he goes, when I go into something, a player, whatever it is, I go all in.
I
So, like, to
guess.
have thousands, I'm like, thousands. He's like, yeah, man. He goes, dude, I mean, like, boxes and boxes of TO.
Wow.
Yeah. So he posted that he had the rainbow, and I saw it. I'm like, Man, I gotta have that. Gotta have that. So right away, slid into the DMs. I'm like, "Oh, what's going on? We gotta make this thing happen." And that was the other day. Well, our show releases Monday. It'd have been Saturday, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, the same day you were. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah. So it's not a long story as far as the deal or nothing. It was just I want that. Let's make it happen. I'm on my way. So and we're actually we're not we're like 2 hours away from each other. So I'm at the halfway point, which is cool. Did
Okay.
a couple parking lot deals, which is always we're like in the back of the parking lot, and but so I ended up with the 2005 Terrell Owens X Fractor Rainbow, and I'll put these up on the screen. You guys
So
can
they're
see
all
them.
X Fractors?
They're all X Fractors. I haven't even posted these yet, but I will. And the first one is the 101.
Mhm.
It's like a white,
Oh,
has a white border, really nice. I mean, dude, these X Fractors reminds me of my buddy Steve Splenda. The gold is at a 10.
that's
Very
nice.
nice. Yeah, the gold one hits
I like
really
that gold
sweet.
one better than the 101
Yep.
because it's
Yeah,
all
so do I. So do
yeah,
I. The 101 actually it has it's kind of
the white
strange. It has a little bit of the X Fractor foil, but around
yeah,
it is like a just a
it's regular.
yes, yep, yeah. The gold one by far is the better card. Actually, the black out of 25 isn't too bad either.
Yeah, that's
So
dope
that's
too.
out of 25. The green out of 50.
That's dope too.
Yeah, kind of got a little bit of a color match on the green out of
Yep.
50. The blue out of 150.
Nice.
That guy there. And the white out of 250.
Gotcha.
So in one fell swoop, I got the entire rainbow, which is freaking sweet. In a nice case. He brought it to me in a nice comic book case. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, man, like these. Remember the other day when I was asking about if people think these are going to take off or stuff like that? It wasn't because, I mean, yeah, I'm here to pump these cards. Sure. I mean, I'll just say it, right? But no, it's just like I feel like we're going to be more cognizant of these types of cards,
Mhm.
these 90s 2000s cards, because like I said, I just at some point, I mean, I can speak for myself. I really don't have any interest in the modern. Maybe one day. Um, just my fandom is a lot different as a 43-year-old now than it was back then. Like now, I
Mhm.
just it's about the team more so than certain players. It's whatever. But like I said, I think that we're going to start to see a little bit more of stuff like this being talked about or being posted about. Pac Nicholson has some sweet X Fractors, man.
You
We
know, those X Fractors, cars like that, serial numbered, or that that are short printed. Those are the ones that out of the 90s, because the junk wax is there. We all know about that. But
Mhm.
there's hidden gems all over the place in
Yep.
those 90s sets, and it doesn't, we talk about the top of the line inserts, but these, cars like that, bro,
Mhm.
there's so many dope cars that you can find and get into. And like you said, it's just a matter of time because people, you're either kind of like you're either modern and getting all the nice fancy, or you're prospecting, or
Mhm.
you get the flawless and stuff like that, chunky patches, or
Right.
you're vintage. And there's people that are, then there's the 90s insert guys that know about all these sets and they're just like, "Psh, you guys are sleeping on all this cool stuff. You're worried about this and that, but there's, gems that are there, hidden treasures within those sets that if you're definitely going to be able to rack up on that stuff before it starts to hit. Because honestly, dude, it's just a matter of time. We're in our 40s, 20 years from now, when the kids that are 10 right now are
Right.
30, they're going to look at this stuff as, sort of vintage,
Right.
but
Yep.
cooler because it's not just the plain
Right.
Jane
It's got
card.
the right. Yeah, yeah. It's got the shine and the flash that they've grown used to
Print.
growing up. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, look at those old man cards. They're kind of shiny like our
Yeah.
cards.
Yeah.
So yeah, where like you always say, like with the vintage, like, dude, that's dry. I get it.
Yeah.
You like the flash, you like the shine, and I totally get that because they're not. If you're looking for like flash and stuff, that's not what it's about. And I remember when I showed this to you guys in the Wolfpack chat, right? I mean, I was like, dude, I'm so into like collecting for me right now. I could care less about. like the mainstream stuff or the stuff that I sound like stacking slabs, the hobby alternative. I really can care less. Like I don't care. Like it's just strange. Like all the stuff that you see every day recycled. That I don't give a crap about that stuff right now. Like
Which
it's
is funny because it's a total 180 from when you first
yeah.
started, when you were purchasing stuff with the intent of flipping and what somebody else would like
Hmm.
instead of what you're doing right now. So
Yep.
that's maturation, and I think everybody that's been in here a while, they go through that. At first you want to try to come in and make money. You see
Hmm.
opportunities, you see people, you talk about these big cards. So either you start ripping boxes or you start getting into breaks or you start buying singles based on, trying to get them raw and get them graded, get a 10 and then flip it. And, you play that game for a while. And then until you realize it's like, man, let me take advantage of this hobby and what it's really about. And it's an escape, and it's you could tell, like, dude, you've come full circle, and I love it. I love seeing that.
Yeah, appreciate it. I see zero fun in picking up movable pieces.
You're just
I just I don't it does nothing for me when you tell me that you picked up whoever is the quarterbacks of the guys are planning on selling
Yeah,
stuff. It does nothing for me, man. Like I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. I mean, just
yeah.
show me the hundred
Like,
dollar
you
bill
you
that
got
you get. Like,
the black prism of the new Atlanta Falcons quarterback. What's his name? Reader, whatever his name is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And that,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I don't even know his name, but apparently he's the next one, I guess, just because he's
yeah.
starting.
Desmond Ritter.
Yeah, Desmond Ritter. So it's like cool, but the black, I seen it posted, and the had like 300 likes or something crazy. So
Wow.
people are, "Oh, yeah, it's cool, Black Prison, da, da, da,"
Yeah.
but it's like, you'll see a Joe Montana one-on-one and people with just like 10 likes.
Like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, no. I just listen. Hey, man, to each his own. Like I said, maybe people like those. It's just not for me. It doesn't move.
Yeah.
So when I buy a hotel rainbow, yeah, man, that to me is dope. And I'll keep keeping it a secret till I get them, and then I'll tell you about them later. So, anyways, you sir got to you, man. What a weekend for the Oz. You get to meet your TV. I mean, you got a lot of heroes. Everybody's your hero. Uh, so you meet your TV hero, and then you got to meet your hobby hero
Yeah,
virtually.
yeah.
But
My hobby man crush.
yeah, your hobby man crush. You got to exchange some DMs with him, thanks to a clip from our guy Jeremy Lee. Jeremy Lee put up a clip about you, how you were inspired to get your Allen Iverson, and then what?
Yeah, like that. First of all, we did that, what, months ago when we
Yeah.
had our interview with Jeremy Lee. So just out of the blue, Jeremy Lee just put a clip of me up there talking. I was like, what's Jeremy Lee doing? And I get on there and you're like, yo, check IG. So I check it out. And it's the clip of me talking about how I got interested in AI and what my inspirations were for that. And I talked about Chris Hoge and Christina's PC, and how basically listening to them when I first came in, I was able to, you know, basically put together what I wanted to do, which was 90s inserts, but I couldn't afford Michael Jordan, so I decided to go ahead with Allen Iverson. And then
Yeah.
I further went on. So I was saying that once I chose Allen Iverson, I really thought nobody else would be collecting him. Like I thought I was gonna be like the man just ahead of the game. So I'm thinking 20 steps ahead of everybody because everybody's talking about Jordan or they're talking about prospects. Nobody's thinking about Allen Iverson, the real goat. And then I go ahead and on Instagram and I put his name in, and like millions and millions of accounts show up with AI, and I'm like, well, I guess I wasn't the only one. But then the main one that I got was Philly Card Collector, and that was the dude. You want to talk about inspiration? I got on his page and it was just like, wow. And it was just AI. It's Kobe Bryant, it's Philly legends, it's Giannis, but his AI collection, dude, it was absolutely insane. And that's the guy that talked about being my virtual checklist and everything. Not only were the cards crazy, but everything was like a PSA 10. Like you've seen
Mhm.
it. Like
Yeah.
it's just it's almost obnoxious. Like Jesus. Like this guy's like, and even the 101s, like everything's a 10. It didn't matter what it was. It was just like they're perfect. He has all the perfect cards of AI. So even if I wanted to like try to get those 101s, I know who has them. It's him.
Yeah,
Or
at
there'll
least you
be
know who has them.
yeah, but he's not coming up off of him. I can tell you
Yeah.
that. Like this guy's a real collector. So out of the blue, once Jeremy Lee posted that, I get two follows. One, Chris Hoge. So shout out to my man Chris. So he started following me. After that shout out that I gave to him, and then shout out to Philly Card Collector because he gave me not only followed me, but like 2 seconds later he hit me up, slid into my DMs, and he was like, "Hey, I seen that clip from Jeremy Lee. I appreciate you giving me a shout." And I was like, "Whew!" I was on cloud nine. I was like, "What?" You know what I mean? Like I just met Millie. You know what I mean? Who's
Yeah.
my my crush on TV. And then bam, here's my hobby man crush. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. So we went into a nice, long conversation. And he hasn't posted in a while, in a hot minute. It's been
Yeah.
months, maybe even a year. So I asked him, I said, dude, did you stop collecting? And he's like, no. He's like, my guys, my friends that are in the hobbies, like they've been getting on my case that I haven't been posting a lot. He goes, but I just been so busy with my kids and work. He's like, but he goes, don't worry, I'll show you some of the things that I picked up since then. And dude, he
Mhm.
just proceeded to just send card after card of just crazy insanity cards I've never seen before that I never knew existed, from Allen Iverson to Kobe Bryant to Messi to just all kinds of nuts. And I was just like, this dude is insane. Wow, 101s, you want to talk about chunky patches? He got the chunky patches. He
Yeah.
got the flawless. He got the old school. Like this guy, serious collector. And the crazy, crazy part about it, like I already said, that his uh, IG account is what I look at to try to like figure out, okay, which way I want to go with my Iverson account. He the first thing he said was like, he's like, bro, he's like, I'm gonna be honest with you. He goes, what I have on IG is only 5% of what I actually have when it comes to Allen Iverson. And that just blew my mind. I was like, how the hell is that even possible?
Yeah, that's that's crazy, man. It's kind of it is cool though, like that you use that as a virtual checklist. It's a lot better than looking at a checklist with no pictures. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's cool though, man. I mean, you might as well not leave the house, man. You might as well just pack it in, and like you're good to go after a weekend like this. It's
Oh,
like,
bro. Like
geez,
first, we dropped episode 100. We get to meet all the people again that we had on our show. So going through that was fun enough. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Just like the who's who in the hobby showing up and congratulating us. So I was all on the high with that. Then come Saturday, going to meet Millie and doing that with my daughter, even better. And then today getting the follow from Chris. And then on top of that, you throw my man Philly Car Collector, and then chatting with him about his collection was just like whew, mind blowing.
yeah,
Mind blowing, bro.
yeah. By the way, getting back to episode 100 real quick, let's just milk that just one last time. Uh, bro, man, I wanted you to cry so bad, man. I was like, because it was gonna be great. I was gonna call you a punk and all that stuff. It was- so, and whoever hasn't seen it, check it out on YouTube. The eyes gets a little misty eyed, So,
Yeah, bro, I was there.
yeah,
I wasn't tears, but definitely
yeah.
misty eyed. I was welling up a little bit. That was very nice of you. What you did, getting in contact with Mr. James Mendoza from the Philippines, who from day one he's been a supporter of us, and
Mhm.
it just I always talk about how surreal it is that on the opposite side of the planet, he's doing everything that I've been doing in this hobby, collecting Allen Iverson, huge Sixers fan. He collects Michael Jackson. He's a huge Karate Kid fan. Just like anything and everything that I do and that I like, he does, and it's pretty cool. So we're kind of kindred spirits, and you made that connection. So that was really really cool having talking to him for the first time live and not just through the DMs. So yeah,
Yeah,
I was this close.
yeah. I'll get you yet. But yeah, that was super cool, man. I was like, and that's why I was like, man, when I saw him in the queue, I'm like, bro, this guy's all the way in the Philippines. I need to make sure he stays on there and doesn't disconnect. And I was like, oh man, here we go. So thank you, James, for joining us. Appreciate that. Um, dude, you get any show FOMO?
Uh, yes, I get a FOMO about everything, bro. Honestly, there's so many things once you get on IG or even eBay, and with the things that I'm trying to collect, whether it's the Michael Jackson or the Allen Iverson, or even the Stranger Things. Like I see Dustin with his collection that he's building over there with the autos and everything, and I'm like, damn, like the fear you talk about, fear of missing out. He's racking up all the autos, and in between him and Slab Stocks, and and Courtney as well, I'm just like, man, I'm gonna miss out if I don't start getting on these autos here. I'm trying to collect Michael, and then these guys are racking up on the Stranger Things, or I see other people getting on the AI train and doing those types of things. So when it comes to the FOMO, even though we talk about how we've matured and we realize it's not a sprint, it's a marathon,
Mhm.
you still get those feelings, especially when you're a set collector or even a player collector of things that that are rare and it will be difficult to get. And you see people racking up on it. And it's like, man, if I don't do what I got to do now, these guys are going to just hoard that stuff and you'll never see it again. So that fear of missing out, that's always a factor. I mean, what about you?
Not getting show FOMO, but definitely itching to go to a show. We haven't been to one since the March Philly show,
Yeah.
and the Fish Channel show just happened. So this will release. It would have happened yesterday,
Yep.
and just I can, like I said, I was busy all weekend. Didn't even get a chance. Didn't even think about it because I knew I wasn't going to be able to. I remember how Debbie asked me if I was going to the show. I was like, no, I'd love to, but didn't get there. So it's the national can't get here fast enough. I don't know if I'll get to a show before that, but
Yeah.
it's just it's different than just buying cards online. I mean, we've talked about it, and also, I mean, the whole meeting people aspect of it too. That's a whole nother thing. So not too much FOMO, but definitely, like little itchy to get to
Yeah. Yeah,
get to.
definitely. Definitely. Especially like you said, because you can be on eBay all day long, or you could look at other sites, but being there in the flesh, being able to touch the cards, see the cards, flip them over, and then having that contact with either the dealers or the people that especially in Philly, the relationships that we've built. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's definitely, yeah, I can see. Yeah, the FOMO, just the fear, just not even fear, just missing out, man. Just like, damn, I could have been there and just
yeah,
not even necessarily picked up a car, but just have been in the atmosphere. Because anytime there's people getting together in the hobby, the community, that's just always an event. If you could be a part of it, you want to definitely be a part of it, because you never know who you can meet that can lead you either to a card or to an opportunity in the hobby.
yeah,
So when you're not there, you could definitely feel like you're missing out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or who might come up to you and yell at you about not liking your guests on their podcast. We'll just touch on that real quick. Listen, man, if you feel so inclined to be upset about a guest that someone has on their podcast, whatever it is, I'm like, dude, sit back, relax, take a deep breath, and don't go yelling at. Listen, look, our buddy Rob had a pretty weird experience at the show, and nothing got crazy, but I'm like, guy comes up and it's his story, but he posted it today on Instagram, and you can guys can see and the gentleman had some choice words to say, and I'm just thinking, I'm like, first of all, you know, Rob from the air, they know us from there. You don't really know these, so to come up to someone and yell at them, you don't know the kind of day that Rob could have been having and the reaction he's going to have to it. So it's like, come on, man, like it's just you're just collecting cardboard here. I mean, I know there's uh nefarious action. I know you that's your word, in the hobby that happens, but just chill, bro. Like, come on, man. Let's just take a deep breath, and I'm hoping that guy feels bad about what he did, because it's definitely not a good look to roll up on somebody and start yelling at him.
Yeah.
So,
And the crazy thing is, like, you're gonna go out there and you're gonna have that type of animosity towards Rob, who he's a content creator. There's certain individuals out there that are polarizing, like you said. He had the great curator on, he had Jeff, the sports card investor. So these two guys, they've become the punching bags. They become, the scapegoats for anything nefarious, negative in the hobby. Now, whether or not that's the case, whether it's true or not, I listen, I don't know. All I can tell you is what I don't really know Jeff, but I know Dan very well, and Dan's a good friend. So dude, all that other stuff, all that stuff that goes on that they talk about, like I could care less. I've not been affected by it. I've not purchased the card because Dan's told me to purchase a card, or Jeff has told me to purchase a card. So I've not been involved in anything pumping and dumping or anything like that. I can only go based upon the interactions that I have with these individuals. And from what I can see from Jeff, he seems like a good guy. Maybe did some, made some stupid mistakes along the way, but we all do. Nobody's perfect. I always go back to the thing, let he who is not guilty cast the first stone. Like, like we could sit here and act like we're all perfect hobby little princes and collect the right way and do everything the right way, but we know that once money gets involved, all that shit goes out the window. You know what I mean? Like our deepest darkest desires come to the forefront. Yeah, once greed gets involved. So whether it's, Dan the great curator, Jeff the sports card investor, or Joe Schmo from down the block, trimming cars in his basement, you don't know what people are doing behind closed doors. But to go ahead and take all that and then, get almost to the point of, physical with somebody you really don't know because he interviewed those people, and to have the nerve to be like, yo, don't you have kids? And like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? As if what Jeff and Dan are doing are so detrimental to the well-being of anybody, like kids, like what
I don't know. Yeah, I
okay,
don't know,
give
man.
me
Like,
an example where, Dan the curator or Jeff like did something to a kid that you could actually go up to Rob and be like, "How dare you? Don't you, what about your kids?" Like what?
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, listen again to get that fired up. Yeah, I don't know, man. Hopefully, my man went home and had a an adult beverage or something, and just
Ah, yes, bro.
yeah,
This is
or maybe he had some before the show, and that's what
that might have
fired him
been
up.
it, but to me, it's just hobby hypocrisy at its finest. You know what I mean? Because, like I
Yeah,
said, 9 times out of 10, we do stuff, and I'll just say we, but I don't really mean me, but we as a hobby, we do things a lot of times that if nobody's looking and you can get away with it and you can
yeah,
make a buck, a little bit more money for doing what the hell we're talking about. 9 times out of 10, a lot of these people out here will do it, and
yeah.
it's not just Jeff, and it's not just GC. It's a lot of old, it's the people you least expect that are out there, really the nefarious fellows that nobody even knows about because they're so slick about it.
Yeah. So it is what it is, man. Let's finish on a positive note. Positive note being that I picked up two more of my 1956 top cards, so I'm now at 208
So
of
how
the
many you need?
300. I'm at 208 of 342, whatever that is. It's late at night. My calculator broke, so
Let me see.
some of them I have to upgrade yet. But uh, I'm actually, as we speak, looking at one that I would like to pick up, and
So you said 342 and you have 208.
yeah,
It's got to be one.
It's actually 340, but then you have the two checklists.
Okay. Well,
So
with the checklist, you, sir, need 134 cards.
perfect. I actually picked up, and I'll show this on YouTube. Some inserts from my binder to make it look a little
That sexy little
nicer.
binder, sir. Look at that.
So it says 1956 tops baseball 5 cents on one side, and on the back it has the basically the big boy cards. Hank Aaron, Ernie Banks, Roberto Clemente, obviously, Mickey Mantle, Sandy Koufax, Willie Mays, Ted Williams, and Mr. Jackie Robinson.
Look at that.
So it's pretty cool. Picked that up on eBay, and pretty nice. It's like on I thought it was just gonna be paper, but it's like a cardboard.
Is that
So
the
they
one? The one set where Willie Mays, where Jackie Robinson is?
no, yeah, it's this guy here. So it's Hank Aaron, but it's actually
Oh,
Willie
Hank.
Mays
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
sliding into home base.
So you
So
got the so you got
yeah,
Hank Aaron his headshot, and then
yes,
you have Willie Mays in the action shot.
yes, yep, yes, sir.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
this 56 Clemente, bro. And yeah, listen, Mr. Splenda just picked one up. Good
Yes, he
friend of the
did.
show. Very nice. A nice addition to his PC. Very happy for him. This 56 Clemente is so sweet. And there's a guy who did the painting of this famous pose of him catching the ball out by the wall. And dude, the painting is like thousands of dollars, but he did it so nice. Danny Black put me on to him. I forget the artist's name. I'll have to reach out to Danny and see if I can maybe post it on Instagram or something like that. But bro, really sick the way that guy painted it. So I love that card
So he
for
just did.
sure.
It's just one portrait.
Yeah, it's like that. It's the wall, very detailed. Like I mean, it's crazy. It's like I don't know if he did prints of it, but like the original one was super expensive. So,
Very
but
nice.
listen, man, 101 is in the books. Here
That
we
it is,
go,
sir.
season
Season
3.
3.
We are off and running. Obviously, we'll be back live on Thursday,
Yes, sir.
Memorial Day weekend edition.
Oh
So
wow.
let's get I already got the wheel spinning because dude, like at this point I'm like hitting my groove with the mailman nicknames, stuff like that. So uh listen, that's
Appreciate
all I
that.
got. Again, congratulations. The Millie Bobby Brown thing is now in the rearview mirror. You have officially won Father of the Year 2023.
There it
I saw
is.
you got what's that?
I said, there it is.
Yeah, you officially won. You got tons of votes. I saw people commenting on your post once you put it up on Instagram. So it's a landslide victory. There will be the coronation will happen at national at some point. So uh so again, congrats. Got it done. Now let's lock in. Let's get some AI bangers up in here. Or those Stranger Things autos because they're being hoarded in Wisconsin and all in the
Yeah.
Midwest and all that stuff.
I
So
just might have to like see if I say it, then
no, yeah, don't say it because then you're gonna cause a
yeah,
say it.
whatever.
See that.
Whatever. Whatever.
Huh?
The new box set that's coming out from Zero Cool that still hasn't yet to be released that I won with the scratch off from the last year's national. That set they already, said there's gonna be autos in there. Millie's gonna be one of them. So
Okay.
I think that's gonna be the set that I go all out. Like, you wanna talk about
Okay.
chasing the rainbow? That's gonna be my set. That's gonna be my 56,
I like it. I
set. So
like
I'm
it.
gonna
I
go
like it.
all out on that John. So I'm normally not the kind of guy to, I did for the Butcher Billy set where I bought a couple boxes, but this one I'm gonna go ham, and
Okay.
I'm gonna look to try to get the all the rare autos and stuff like that, the one-on-ones. So really hammer that. That's gonna be my set coming up.
I like it. I like it. You got some time to because there's nothing been announced on that, correct?
Nothing yet.
Okay.
Nothing yet. So
You got some time.
from that point, just still continue to do the MJs.
Yeah.
Um, still I still gotta, bro. I gotta work on my 86 Fleer set. Like I
Yeah, I
said,
feel like like that's how but I feel like those cards. Well, I don't know about. I mean, because I know you're going after nines. I'm not sure how many nines are how plentiful they are at shows where you can maybe find a guy who has two or three and maybe try to make a.
yeah.
I mean, but
Yeah, that's the tough part. They'll have them there, but to always have a nine, they pop up all the time on eBay, obviously. It's just a matter of being disciplined enough to say, okay, I'm gonna take 150, $200 to spend on that as opposed to something else
mhm.
that I might want. And that's where the conundrum has been. Cause I could have easily, if I would have focused,
Sure.
I would have done had it, and just maybe, been waiting on the MJ and, some of the more expensive guys, the stickers.
Yeah. So much for keep focused, but
I'm trying, bro. Trying.
just
It's
kidding.
hard.
Yes, sir. So listen, man. That's it for tonight. I'm tired.
Oh,
I'm weary.
real quick.
Go
Yeah,
ahead.
we don't want to talk about stuff because we always want to try to keep things evergreen. But at this moment in time,
Oh,
I
okay.
want to say the Boston Celtics are going to go down 0-3 to Miami Heat. Himmy Butler has come to play. My
Yeah,
man is
listen.
on another level, sir. They're losing 89-60 going into the fourth quarter,
God.
almost 30 points.
By you just
Tatum,
saying
Tatum with 14 points, Brown with 12, and everybody else single digits.
well, by you just saying Jimmy Butler's nickname again, there's a certain listener that he just rolled his eyes. I'll just leave it at that. So take us home, brother.
With that being said, we're going to end this like we always do. So for season 3, we're always going to remain, and that's keep focused, keep positive, and keep collecting. Hey, yo, Tone, bring the beat back.